Okay, so you're here today because you put diesel into your gasoline machine. All right, this isn't going to cover a automobile, but this will cover pretty much turf equipment, such as lawn mowers, tractors that require gasoline, zero turns, power washers, which is what our case is. Now, real quick, before I get into the tutorial on the motor I'm going to do, which is a Honda GX390, I'm just going to explain to you what you need to do so you don't panic and you're not thinking that your motor is seized up. Typically, if you put gas into a diesel motor, then yes, you have to worry about severe engine problems because there's a reason why diesel motors need that diesel to start. And without going into the science of it, basically diesels operate on compression and pressure to ignite, and gasoline engines have a spark plug, which is why they need the gasoline to ignite. We are not going to cover gasoline going into a diesel in this tutorial. We are going to cover diesel going into gas in this tutorial. Now, on your machine, don't panic. What you have to do is, first, is you want to drain all the fuel out of your fuel tank. So that's going to require taking the hose that's going into the carburetor, take that off, and drain the fuel out. Now, if you have a fuel filter, you want to take the fuel filter off and you're going to dispose of that, you definitely want to get a new fuel filter. Get all of the diesel drained out of the gas tank, and then you're going to want to flush it. To flush that, what you want to do is you want to fill that tank up with regular gas. Make sure the hose is disconnected from the carb, turn the key, and start pumping that gas through there until you have just clean gas coming out and no more diesel. Also, you want to change the fuel filter. A lot of machines will have a inline filter. Just take that off, put a new one on. You're also going to want to change your spark plug. Your spark plug is probably going to be pretty fouled up and dirty. You can try to wipe it off and put that one back in, or just get a new one. Another thing you want to do is your carburetor. There's a screw or a bolt on the very bottom. You want to drop that bowl down and clean all that out. What I would recommend to do is actually take the whole carburetor apart, because there is little jets and things inside and those valves, and they will have diesel in them and they can clog up. If you put this in an actual automobile, it can clog the fuel injectors, and that becomes a mess, and that's a whole nother tutorial, but we're still on lawnmowers. So drain the gas tank out, put fresh gasoline in there, change your fuel filter, change your spark plug. I recommend cleaning out the entire carburetor, but you can just drop the bowl on the bottom of the carb, dump that out, put it back on, and you should be able to fire that machine up. Now, it probably will smoke for a little bit. If it doesn't start, we don't typically recommend doing this, but you can spray some starting fluid in there. You may need that just to get that first initial start to go, but in most cases you won't. Okay, but that's basically the things you're going to have to do, and your gasoline motor should be fine. Again, it will smoke a little bit at first, but let it run and it should be fine. Now, on to the tutorial for this particular machine. This here is a power washer, and it's actually a steam washer. So it has this unit on here, back here, which actually gets the water really hot. All right, now with this motor, there's two separate gas tanks. This is where the confusion came in. Down here, to operate this burner up here, there's a separate tank that says diesel fuel only, and the diesel goes down here for that burner. Up here, it now says gasoline only, but it did not. The operator was looking around and only saw diesel fuel only and put the diesel in here. Now, this label was just put on this morning to prevent this, but you can see the red diesel is still filled to the rim. Then they started cranking and cranking and cranking, and it would not start. All right, so what we're going to do in this particular tutorial on this motor is we're going to go step by step, and I'm going to show you, and this is basically everything you're going to need to do even on other motors. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the fuel line off, and we're going to start draining that diesel out of that tank. You're going to want to get yourself a container like this, because putting a pan on the ground is not going to work. Not on this machine, because this hose is only so long, and you're going to be standing here trying to hold this out past these tires to land into there. You're better off getting yourself a jug like this, and you can set it on something, which I will do when I pull that hose off, and I'll be able to stick it right in here, and I don't have to stand here for 10 minutes while it drains. Get yourself a pair of needle nose pliers, and you're going to pull up on this retaining clip here, which I got it up. But basically, you're going to squeeze this clip in, and you're going to slide this clip up. There it is. Now keep it squeezed with your needle nose. Bring it over to your jug and let it out. All right. And you'll see that red diesel coming out of there now into the container. We'll come back in a couple minutes after that's done draining. We're going to go over here to the carburetor underneath here, and you will see a bolt right here underneath. And what you want to do is we want to loosen that and take out any of the diesel that's in this bowl here. Get yourself a little tiny catch pan underneath, and you're going to see that start draining out. Now we are going to take this bowl off, but I just want to drain this diesel out of here first. Let's go ahead and drop this down. All right, and I'm just going to get some brake clean, carbon choke cleaner. We're going to clean that up, blow it out with some air. The bowl is clean. We're going to go ahead and we are going to screw this back up there. All right, onto the spark plug. In this particular machine, our spark plug will be back here behind the carburetor. You can see it there. Just pull that boot off, and you're probably going to want to get an extension with a swivel on it so that you can get in there. All right, and this is going to be a 13/16. There's our plug. It actually doesn't look too bad. It is an old plug though, you can see all the corrosion on it, so we're going to replace it anyway. My new plug is back in there. We'll put that on. Alright, now last but not least is up in this tank here. It's not really a fuel filter, but there is a screen there, so I guess you could call it a filter. What you could do is pretty much blow some air back through here, spray some brake clean in there, and blow these lines out and try to clean that screen in there rather than try to get in there. This is a plastic filter, and when you start messing with these, the O-ring goes bad and you can't really get them to seat right. This might save you a trip to the store trying to order this part. So what you can do, like I said, is put some spray some brake clean in the lines and just kind of blow some air through here. So we have the gas tank drain, we have the plug out. Now what we're going to do is we are going to fill this with regular gas and try to flush this out of here. You look down inside, you can see, even though I drained it all, see all the red? That's all the diesel. And you can see the oil sitting down there. See the screen right there? That's the screen I was talking about. All right, and that's we want to fill this up with gas. And we want to clean all that out of there. All right, so I just poured some gas in there, and it doesn't look too diluted with diesel now, but I have it. I have another tank here, kind of held up by a bungee cord, and I'm letting this drain all the way through, drain all the way out, kind of flush that out. We drained all the gas out and flushed the lines. Now I'm going to fill the tank back up with some regular gas here, and then we're going to try to start it up. Now it may smoke a lot at first. There may still be some, remember we didn't take that whole carburetor apart and stuff, so there may still be some remnants of diesel kicking around in there. There should be enough there, but let's give it a shot and see what it does here. All right. Wow, I didn't expect it to start right away. You can see it's smoking a little bit. That's a good sign. You know what? I forgot to turn the gas on here. Let's try it again. still running a little bit rough. Gonna run a little bit rough at first, gonna take time. Plus side of it is, you didn't have to replace the motor. Just gotta do a little bit of cleaning, and it'll run again. But it's not gonna be the same pace if you put gas in a diesel motor. So, but that's what you do if your operator or yourself mixes diesel in a gas motor. Hopefully this helped. Please hit subscribe below, give me a like. I'll see you guys next time.